Welcome. I remember an episode where this guy came in. It was like a technology, right? And it immediately piqued your interest. You were like, "Do you own 100% of this?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What are you planning on doing with this?" And then he answered it right, and then you were like, "Done."
I gave him $1 million.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, think I remember.
Greetings, everyone. It is not every day that we have an electrifying billionaire in the house, but today is one of those days. We're diving into the world of one of the most outspoken and iconic figures in business, sports, and entertainment, Mark Cuban, the Maverick mogul, Shark Tank sensation, and king of cash. Hailing from the sprawling oasis of Pittsburgh, Mark made his mark in the business world with a meteoric rise. One of the originators of streaming, Mark co-founded Broadcast.com, a company that Yahoo bought for jaw-dropping $5.7 billion, making him an instant billionaire, and that is just the tip of the iceberg. He's the Dallas Mavericks owner and a longtime host and investor on the hit TV show Shark Tank. Mark Cuban is one of the most fascinating and successful personalities of our time, and he's joining us today. Mark, welcome to the show.
What's up? Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, man. First off, how you doing, man?
Just another day in paradise, man. The Mavs are going off. A good start. Cost Plus Drugs is rolling. The kids are happy, so I'm good.
Oh man, you just knocked like three of the things that I was gonna mention. First off, I'm here in Florida right now, dude. It is an absolute stunning, beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. So I feel you on that. So dude, first off, your email is public, and you respond to the email. What is that like? I mean, how many emails do you have like outstanding at once?
Well, so first, I don't respond to all of them.
Of course not.
Yeah, I'll at least glance at them. So like here, let me go look at one right now. Some random here. Email from Matthew. I am 15 years old and have a brilliant product. I developed a completely biodegradable, environmentally friendly, and sustainable liquid plant fertilizing solution. My product has many applications, yada, yada. I recently applied to pitch my small business to you and the Sharks. I hope to hear from you soon. And I'm going to write back and say, cool. I hope you can get the business started, can get it started. I'll see you on Shark Tank.
Oh my God, man.
There you go.
That is so
90% of them, I just hit the delete key.
Of course.
But like, if it's a kid who's like, sounds like they've got something innovative, as opposed to like, hey, I read about drop shipping on TikTok. Like, I'm not going to respond to that.
100%. Oh man. Has there been one, like an idea or an email where you just, you read it and you were like, oh my God, like.
Yeah. I've invested over $100 million in emails from people that were just cold emails.
No way, dude.
Like, I've got one company, Relativity Space, that has these enormous 3D printers that make spaceships, rockets, and they are crushing it. Oh. And these are just a couple dudes from Dallas that said, you're here in Dallas. We've got this idea to do these enormous 3D printers for rockets. Would you help us get started? I'm like, okay, here's a little bit of money. And it's not that quick, right? I'm like,
of course.
Meet them with all the geeky questions and due diligence and all that. And so I gave them some, then more. And they launched their first rocket. I think it was in March. And they just raised more money, including a little bit from me, but they raised more money at a $4 billion valuation.
Oh, baby.
And let me just tell you, I have never met these dudes. Never met them.
Dude, that's just so cool. That's so cold, bro. You're like that, Mark, that is like, you've never met these guys. They're crushing it. And it's like, you don't even have to, right? Like they're going to town. They don't need, they don't need to meet you face to face to like feel the pressure or even
they've been doing it. They've been like, come on and see the rockets, bro. You've got to check this stuff out. It's insane. They're in Long Beach now, Long Beach, California. And I'm like, yeah, but that'll kill the story. I have such a great story to tell.
Yeah, you got to keep it going, bro. You got to wait until they're just like taking over the world, man. Yeah.
You have to sell the company and we go celebrate. Yep.
100%. That is insane. So like you said they're making rockets. Are these guys making rockets for themselves or like Elon Musk?
No, they make it for like NASA and others like that. I don't think they made any for Elon yet, but they make them for different People who use rockets for all kinds of payload type stuff.
Oh my God, bro. All right. So NBA, dude, unfortunately for me, I'm stuck on the NFL and the refs are kind of killing it for me. But I've never been super into the NBA, man. So but for you, what is your day-to-day life change when the NBA season starts? Like how, like physically?
It actually gets easier for me.
That's awesome.
When the games start, my life is easier. I just got to go to the games and that's it. And just pay attention and all that in case things come up. But for me, the most work for the Mavs occurs during the summer, during the free agency and the draft, because that's when the big stuff happens, right? That's when, you're trying to improve your team, make any trades, improve in the draft, deal with all the money that's involved and sell tickets. That's where we're grinding it hard. Once the games start, I just depend on Luka.
Yeah. Of course.
And let him do his thing.
Like, do you have a lot of say in like trades and players that you want to go after?
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of it, it's like my own fantasy team in some respects, but it's real money, right? If you're going to pay a guy $100 million or $40 million a year or $50 million a year or $3 million a year, right? It's crazy how you think, oh, this guy is only $3 million a year. It's $3 million a year, you know?
Dude.
And it's my money. And so it's just like, yeah, I'm paying attention for sure.
Of course. Which is, the Mavs got to absolutely love that, man. The fact that you've been around it for such a long time and you know what you're doing. And you're invested, right? You're not just one of those owners who buys a team and it's just like, sits back and you feel like you got to be hands-on, man. You make an investment like that, man. You buy an NFL team, an NBA team, like you got to do it right.
Yeah, of course you do. Like, what's the point if you're not a fan first? What's the point? Now, there's the business side of it's not easy, right? And it's changing because television is changing. You know how entertainment is changing by the day, right? Different platforms. You live all that, right?
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
Trying to keep up with what's changing there and what, how we'll find new sources of revenue and this and that so we can pay for players. That's always a challenge, but just the basketball side of it, that's what I love. When we're winning. When you're losing, let me just tell you, it is brutal. Brutal.
Dude, I'm a Lions fan, man. So right?
I
literally know what it's like to not even get a win.
You got to be loving life right now, right?
Yeah, we're killing it. And I don't know how much you're paying attention, especially since the NBA's just started up. But like,
I'm a football fan. Yeah, I'm a football fan. I grew up in Pittsburgh, Steelers fan, also Cowboys fan.
All right, man. So like the Niners were looking literally
unstoppable,
unstoppable.
They torched the Cowboys, just killed them and just stepped on them.
And then now, right? Like now, they get they get hit by the injury bug a little bit, right? Couple players go down, and
everything changes,
dude. And now they're not only do they look beatable, they look kind of doo doo when things aren't clicking.
Well, yeah, but look at Minnesota. They just pulled a guy off the street, basically making that trade with Phoenix, and the guy looked like he was an All-Pro 6 straight years.
Joshua Dobbs is apparently, I saw like one clip on TikTok. Like apparently this guy's like a genius. I think like he's an actual, he's actually very, very like incredibly high IQ, very intelligent. And he was able to literally like learn the basics of the entirety of the playbook. Like not everything like in depth.
I was watching that game going, oh my God. I just took over like he was Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Dude, it was scary, bro. And like he was also doing things in Arizona too, just limited with with talent over there. So that was interesting. Anyways, let's kind of hop back on track here a little bit. I love these tangents, bro.
We're going AFK with Ninja. What's he gonna say? Yahoo!
But back to the NBA, dude. You guys, again, you're 6-1. You're doing great. I'm looking at your conference. In your conference, man, which team scares you the most, if any? All of them?
All of them, man.
Even the Grizzlies, the 1-6 Grizzlies.
When they get John Morant back, they're going to be a lot better, right? And so the Western Conference is just deadly. There are no easy games.
I'm looking at it, bro. It's scary. I'm like, isn't every single one of these teams like
good?
Playoff potential?
Better, yeah. And so, you just go top to bottom. There are no easy games, and it's a game. It's a season of attrition. Whoever stays the healthiest, just like we were talking about the Niners, man. You got to knock on wood, stay healthy, and that's the key.
I mean, you just said health is everything. Staying healthy is most important. Bro, there's some stuff out there. There's some products out there. There's some people out there that understand like health, nutrition on like a crazy level. Like how much are you guys
we're all in on
taking?
that.
Yeah, you just got like, you got the works, right? Are these guys just like, they're going in like juggernauts of health?
Yeah, we've got all this stuff, but there's two things there. One, you got people who talk a good game. Like I've got this supplement mix that we've put together and tested with 73 athletes, and then you've got the science, right? And we stick to the science side of it, not just whatever the latest, greatest pitch is. And so we've got people who focus on all the health and wellness stuff, scanning tendons, this, you name it, man. It's like my Achilles hurt after working out. So I went and got my Achilles scanned by this stuff. It's insane.
That's
like
awesome.
A sonogram. And it's just, there's so much at stake. We do all the research to make sure that we can get it right, because you're not going to stop them no matter what, but at least you can try to reduce them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I can only imagine. I mean, this year, the NFL as well, just, it's like an Achilles is torn or an ACL is torn, like every game. Like, and it's...
Yeah, I mean, the guys have just gotten so much bigger and faster and stronger.
It's scary, dude.
It is scary. You got 400-pound dudes running 40s or some such, right? And, in the NBA, it's the same kind of thing. The game, even 10 years ago with the Mavs and the NBA in general, there was always one dude on the court that maybe was a good defender or a good rebounder, but couldn't shoot, wasn't particularly fast. Now, that's not the case. Every guy on the court all the time can shoot, score, contribute in multiple ways. And that just makes the game that much more difficult so often. And so you see more injuries because it's hard physically to sustain all that.
I feel you, man. I saw this. I'm seeing giants on TikTok. One of these guys that are just like 7 feet, like I'm starting to get into the league, and it's like, what do you even do, man?
Yeah, like 7'5" dudes that like play like they're 6'1". I mean, how do you even deal with that?
It makes no sense, dude.
It's insane. And you know what? Those guys are growing left and right because basketball is such a global sport. Like football plays a game in London, plays a game in Germany, but you're not seeing little kids in Germany putting on football pads, right? Or even really playing flag football. But everybody picks up a basketball, just like everybody picks up a soccer ball. And so there are so many basketball players being hatched around the world that, have the benefit of the internet, have the benefit of watching all these highlights and trying to replicate them on their court, their court at school. And that has just changed the game dramatically.
Oof. I'm good playing video games, man. I don't want to have to compete against those guys. And I never was good at basketball, bro. I played basketball growing up. My dad and mom played in college.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were both really good too. Unfortunately, my dad got injured, and then my mom just, focused on other things. But my dad he's just absolutely in love with basketball, and he tried to get all three of us to play it. He didn't force us to play it, but he was like, just give it a shot. So we all three played it. Me and my brother, I have two older brothers, Chris and John, and John and I both gave up pretty quickly. But Chris, or my middle brother, something just clicked for him. Like he said one day it just clicked. When he was playing, this is when he was like a sophomore, like a junior in high school or something, and he would just, he was incredible. He could hit the ball from anywhere. He was scoring crazy points. My dad was like ecstatic, and then he was like, dude, finally, he finally has a kid that he can just watch pop off. And then like that year that he decides he's going to focus on soccer only, and my dad was crushed.
No, well, at least you got to pick a sport these days.
Yeah, I know. It's so you can't. There's just no way you can be that good at all of them, man. Mark, dude, if you go to markcubancompanies.com, there's a list of 100 plus companies that you own or have a hand in. How many of those were brought to you, or roughly, would you say the majority of those were brought to you by Shark Tank, making those decisions on the show?
Yeah, probably 3/4 are Shark Tank, and probably 5 are companies I've started at the most, and the rest are just investments that I found one way or the other.
I'm like thinking about Jess and I have had, we honestly, my wife, you know that already.
Yeah.
We've gotten lucky enough to have just like a couple opportunities just like fall into our lap that are just like great ideas. And these people were just interested, generally interested in us, on like what we want. And like, they're doing all the companies that we invested in. I think we got like a couple, like 5 to 10. They're all doing pretty well. And it feels really good, dude. But I'm worried, man. I'm worried that there's going to be a time where we just invest in one and it's a decent amount, and it's because we don't have, we're not, fuck
Yeah,
your,
you guys aren't struggling though. But I hear what you're saying, right?
I'm worried, man. It's like we're gonna make that. Here's $500,000, and then it's just like
gone. Yeah,
and it just tanks. It's like
gone.
oh.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the drill, right? That comes with it. But you're kind of like I am in that. For the most part, I invest in companies that I can help.
Yes.
And, Shark Tank is different because it's television, and a lot of those companies, you're trying to send a message to people that, hey, you can come from anywhere and start a company that might be successful. Like I've said, 25% are really good, 50% are okay, and 25% are what the fuck was I thinking, right? And most of the what the fuck was I thinking or just like, okay, it was good TV at the time. Or like even sometimes like I get bored. It's like all the other sharks are like messing around. I'm like, okay, I'll invest just so we can get done with this shit. And so that never works out for me very well. A couple have, but the ones where I can contribute and add value usually tend to work out, like yours, right? Where you can use your platform to add value, it's going to work.
I remember, so first off, obviously, massive fan of the show. Justin and I, we love it. You guys, what you guys are doing, where it started, how it's going, everything you guys do, we love it. I remember an episode where this guy came in. And I don't remember how old he was. I don't remember like anything about him. All I remember is it was like, I think he was offering like a technology, and I think he was asking for like 5%, offering 5%. And it was like, he needed like $1 million or like $2 million. He needed
Over
a crazy
5%?
amount. Yeah, but it was like a technology, right? And it immediately piqued your interest. He said like, and you just like, it was like the quickest deal I've ever seen. Like you were like, do you own 100% of this? And he was like, yeah. And he's like, what are you planning on doing with this? And then he answered it right. And then you were like, done.
Oh, I remember what that was.
What was that? If you
I gave him $1 million?
Yeah.
Shit. I think I remember.
I know. Oh my God. I mean, dude, how many seasons are you guys on now, man? Like 20?
15. 15.
15. How long do you guys film?
We filmed 2 weeks in June and 2 weeks in September, and that's it.
So you guys just
crank them.
You guys just, oh my God, you crank them.
Crank them. Yeah.
You know what? I don't know what I expected, man. Time is money, and you guys are out there, and of course, you guys literally just invest 2 weeks of your time and just sit there and just
but they've got it set up. Yeah, it's not like, you've done all that stuff before. It's not like they have to move cameras around. Those cameras are just in one spot, and we're in our chairs. They walk in, they shoot it. Now, most of the time is spent on editing because, like, in real life, it's like, they can be an hour to 2 hour pitches, and then they have to edit it down to 10 minutes. But yeah, I can't think, who the fuck did I invest $1 million in? I don't know.
It was, again, you were like, he said, he just answered everything the right way. And clearly it was something that was just like, it was a no brainer. And you just went like, done. I'll look it up. I'll ask Jeff, dude. I'll ask Jeff to see if you can find it.
Okay, let me know.
I will, dude. I'll hit you up, man, because that one, I remember that. I was like, dude, there's just no way, bro. That was like a 30-second pitch, and you were just all in, and it made, it was crazy.
Well, it must not be doing so well.
Dude, yeah, I think you would have remembered if it was a no-brainer.
AFK with Ninja.
All right, dude, cost plus drugs, dude. You are vowing to take down big pharma with your business. Cost plus drugs, the lowest prices on medications anywhere. Tell me more about that. I've seen a couple of your videos explaining it, man, but in your own words right now.
Yeah, appreciate you asking. So, by the way, this started from a cold email too. This guy, Dr. Alex Oshmayansky, who's now my co-founder, sends me an email saying, look, I've got this compounding pharmacy, which is a pharmacy that makes their own drugs, and I think we can sell generics for less. I'm like, well, if you're having to make them yourself, we're not going to be able to sell many. And then we go through this back and forth, and we finally get to the spot where we're like, okay, let's start this thing. And it's costplusdrugs.com, and it formally launched back in January of 22. You know how like when you get a prescription from the doctor or your mom, dad, grandma, whoever gets one, the first thing they ask you is, what pharmacy do you use? Yeah. And if you're independent like us, right, you don't really, it's not the insurance company that pays for it, it's you that pays for it. And so you go to the pharmacy, and you have no idea what they're going to charge you. And we're okay because we know we can afford it, but a lot of people can't. It's crazy in this day and age that, there are people who have to pick between their rent, their food, their daycare, and their medications. And so what costplusdrugs.com does is we show you our cost. We show you our 15% markup. And if you want it mail order, it's $5 for shipping and $5 for the pharmacy fee. Or if you want to do a pickup like at Kroger's or whatever, it's $8 for Kroger's for their fee. But by doing that at such a low markup, our prices are just dramatically lower, not just on the most common stuff, but it's even crazy low for the more advanced drugs. So like there's drugs like this thing called imatinib, which is for people with chemotherapy. If you just walked into the pharmacy and didn't know any better, they would charge you $2,000. We would charge you, depending on strength, $30 or $40. I mean, there's drugs that, people were paying $5,000 a month for that they'll pay, under $50 with us. And it's because particularly the big pharmacy chains, they see them coming, right? They know people did not, before costplusdrugs.com, nobody had access to what a medication should cost. And so by by being transparent with our pricing, we're able to show people we can save you a shitload of money. So anybody out there, whether you have a medication, your grandma, your grandpa, whatever, go to costplusdrugs.com, put in the name of it. We've got 1,500 meds. It's growing to 2,000, hopefully over the next couple months. And then from there, we'll keep on adding meds every week. But put it in there and compare our pricing to yours. And even if you have insurance, right, we're probably cheaper than your deductible. We're probably cheaper than your copay. And if it's your company, you're on the ACA healthcare plans, check, because we will definitely be cheaper than Medicare, ACA, all that stuff.
First off, incredible, man. You hear all this stuff about big pharma in general, and it's pretty sickening. The whole thing is sickening. I don't want to get too far into that stuff, but
it's fucked up. No, it's truly messed up.
It's so messed up, right? I mean, people making money off of people struggling and suffering. It's, especially by marking up, like, you know what I mean? Like that to me is like the definition of just evil, right? Like,
yeah, sure.
Hey, this is life-threatening things that you need, life-changing things that you need. Here, let's charge you like 500, 600% more. Because they could make money even if they just did a small markup, but they want to like rob you blind. And that's, do you see
and it's not
companies?
Even the manufacturers. It's not even the manufacturers that do that. It's these companies called pharmacy benefit managers. And there's three big ones that dominate 80% of the industry. And they're the ones that distort the pricing, make it opaque so nobody knows what the costs are. And that's who we're trying to put out of business.
Good shit, dude. I hope you guys do, man. I mean, they either have to. I mean, they'll either go out of business or adapt and change their pricing, dude. That is like the biggest dick energy thing I think you've ever done, man. And I'm so proud of you, man. That's so good.
Appreciate that, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Keep that up. I'm gonna obviously stay, because my parents are on a bunch of stuff too. I'm gonna make sure that
have them check. Even if your parents have got great insurance, we're probably cheaper than their deductibles.
Oh God, I love that, dude. Oh my God. All right, dude, Mark, you are obviously, dude, you got it all, man. The man that you have a wonderful family, you have a wonderful wife, kids, dude. You obviously have the money, man. So, and you freaking own your own NBA team. What do you do for fun, man? How do you blow off steam?
Everything. I get to do what I want. Like my life is like, I'm the luckiest motherfucker on the planet. When I die, I want to come back as me. Seriously, because we all go through shit or whatever, and we all stress about our family and their health and all that. But I've been blessed. I've got a great family. But when I need to blow off steam for whatever reason, I'll go shoot baskets. That's what I'll do. I'll go play basketball or just get out in the backyard. I have a hoop set up back there and just get up shots, because when that ball is going through the hoop and you're hearing that net, that splash is like me, the most cathartic, most relaxing thing ever. So that's how I de-stress.
The nothing but net, the swish, dude. It really must be. I wouldn't know though, dude, because I am the king. Dude, you want to talk about a game, you want to talk about a sport that just didn't click, dude. It just didn't click for me. It was basketball. I was the worst out of the whole family. I got punched in the face by the gene, right? I didn't get kissed by the gene of basketball.
But you know what? When both your parents played, right, that's like pressure. There was no pressure in my family, so it was easy.
I was just hitting I hit donuts, bro. Like every single shot, it just goes around the rim and then out. Around and
That's
out.
okay.
Every single shot. It's the worst.
That's okay.
Oh my God. All right, dude. Keep going here on this lifestyle stuff, which is one of my favorite things to talk about to people, man. You are a vegetarian, which shocks me because Wagyu beef is the most amazing beef in the world.
I've had it before. I mean, I've only been a vegetarian like 4 years and I love it, right? But, you know, as you get a little older, your body isn't as resilient, right? So stuff where like, I used to be one of these dudes where I could eat everything and anything and not think twice, right? Yeah. Didn't matter. It wouldn't hurt me in any ways. Then all of a sudden it'd be like, oh shit. Like, you know, I'd be done working out and everything hurt more. And so, you know, then I started reading this stuff, like it helps reduce inflammation and this and that. And that's what I found that, you know, I still work out, still play ball, all this stuff. And so anything I can do to keep me, you know, feeling good after a game or a workout, I'm going to do it. Right. Cause I've got my go-to foods and stuff, you know, so I'm easy.
For me, eating healthy it's obviously, it can be easy, but it also can be very difficult, especially if you don't have those go-tos, right? Like a go-to healthy meal that you know is going to make you feel better. It's quick as well, right? Something easy to make. Like, give me some of your go-to vegetarians, because
I'm an eggplant Parmesan guy. I can eat eggplant Parmesan 7 days a week.
Same, by the way. I've had it a couple of times. It's so good.
It's so good, right? And so, you know, I'm not vegan. I'm just vegetarian. So I can put cheddar cheese on anything and make it taste good. From pizza, which isn't healthy, but I'll make salads. I'll just do whatever, you know, and it's easy. I keep it really simple. I'm not formal at all. I'm not like have the butler bring me this because that's not the way we work here.
How long until you really noticed like this is changing? Like this was helping you physically? I mean, like once you was it like a week after and you're instantly just like, wow, I feel much better after the gym, or did it take some time
Probably
for like the effect?
4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months. Dude, Jess and I, it's 2023. What year was this, dude? This is like, I'd say maybe like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. We had this, we're like, let's go vegan for a month and like, let's see how we feel. Right. And that's tough because, you know,
vegan
it's tough.
Hard. Vegan
it's hard, bro.
Hard.
Yeah. So we did it though. Like we had Chipotle, and so we were just which is pretty much, dude. So we had sofritas, right? We rocked like rice, sofritas, like beans. Like we had, you know, because they had everything you needed.
When I first went vegetarian, I lived at Taco Bell for bean and cheese. Well, not because I wasn't vegan, but bean and cheese burritos. That was my shit. Always, dude. Normal food.
I know exactly, because like we didn't. Again, we weren't like super well versed, and we didn't know what we could eat. So, yeah, we did that for like a month and a half, and dude, it was the best we've ever felt in our entire lives. Mind you, we were still young, so it could have just been the age speaking. But like, I remember like I was getting up 6 hours of sleep, feeling like I slept like 8. You know, wide awake, crazy. And then we just got painfully hammered one night, you know, like just a massive binge party, just went crazy, woke up, and then we were just craving meat. We were so hungover.
Because everybody wants a steak at 7 a.m. when they're hungover, right?
So we're like, dude, please, we need something, like anything to make this go away. And they're like, there's just no way. So we just went to Chipotle and got like double chicken bowls and just.
But I'll cheat every now and then. I'm not going to lie. I'll cheat every now and then because there's just sometimes like I'm out to dinner with the family and there's just nothing, right? So I won't get a steak, but I might get like sushi or something like that. So
I love sushi. That's my go-to, like pretty much anywhere, man. Especially if you're on a coast. Like give me some fresh.
Sure.
And you know, it's all about it's progress, not perfection, Mark. All right, man. So you don't.
And I can get an avocado sushi roll, whatever. And so there's options there, but I got to get a California roll every now and then.
Yes. I love, dude. I'm thinking about sushi right now. Probably gonna order it later after this. You've been posting a tip of the day. I just read one of these questions that they had. Dude, Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk in a cage match, dude? Like, is that even?
No, I'm going with Zuck because technique matters. Musk is bigger, but technique for those martial arts, those guys who know what they're doing, and even though Zuck's kind of small, maybe Musk is strong enough to throw him around, but I'd still take the guy with the technique.
Dude, 100%. Also, speaking of injuries that we were talking about earlier, man, Mark literally just got an ACL.
I saw that, man. That sucks. Yeah, but I think for him, it's going to be a badge of honor, right? Yeah, I was working out with my trainer and tore my LCL. I had him in a rear naked choke, and
yeah, I don't think he'll sound like that when he says it because he sounds more like he'll be like,
no,
I actually was working out and I tore my ACL.
100%.
Oh, dude. All right. So I got you for, I think, just a little bit longer, man, Mark. Let's just hop into the final segment of this. Dude, I could talk to you for literally years, by the way.
I know,
this
man.
is so much fun.
It's great.
We're going to do this or that, wrap this up. We ask some of these questions to everyone, but not all. So are you ready, man?
Yes, sir.
All right, these can be as short or as long as you want. It's not that deep, or it can be super deep. Here we go. This is this or that. Houston, Austin, or Dallas?
Dallas.
All right, morning coffee or green smoothie to start your day?
I hate green smoothies. Those are the worst things ever. Coffee.
Yeah, I literally don't think I've ever tasted anything green that was a smoothie that tasted good.
No,
man.
it's so nasty.
Because
like
all the green are bad.
Kombucha and that stuff. I'm like, oh, this is killing me.
Oh, man. All right. Elon Musk's SpaceX or Tesla for a future investment?
That's a good question. I mean, I'd probably go SpaceX just because EVs now, everybody's making them. The battery technology still needs to change. And now everybody's realizing they're really hard to maintain. And I have a Tesla, right? If they break, it's a disaster. I'll go with SpaceX.
All right. Also, just want to tag this. This is not financial advice. This is just a question for Mark. I don't want people being like, I took out a second mortgage on my home and put it all on SpaceX.
Don't shit at all. Yeah.
All right. Reading a book or listening to an audiobook?
Reading a book. Yeah.
Right. A Mavericks game or a Shark Tank pitch session?
Oh, Mavericks game all day, every day.
I bet,
dude. Thousands of Shark Tank pitches. No.
As I was reading that, I was like, I know the answer to this already. Investing in an emerging startup or an established business?
I like the startups because that's what I do, man. And when you help startups, you create new jobs and you might change the world. You just never know what's going to happen.
All right, man. Date night out or date night in?
Date night in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, a couple questions here. These are not this or that, but just some other questions, man. What is your tip of the day?
What is my tip of the day? Be nice. Everybody likes to deal with people who are nice to them, man. It's just like so many people are raw right now, you know?
I don't know what to tell you, man. I think it's this weird like main character syndrome era where people are just like, there's nothing more weird. Like as somebody who's, I guess this is woke. I'm going to say woke in a different way. But hold up. There's a better word for this, man. I'm just self-aware, right? You know what I mean? Like I feel like as a self-aware person, it is astonishing that people can go out in public and treat others as less. It makes no sense to me.
Right? Yeah,
it's just so ridiculous. Like, it's a stranger. You should be nicer to strangers, right? Like,
right. I mean, what makes you better than anybody for any reason ever? And what makes you, able to, it's just be nice, right? Even if it's just hitting the fan, be nice. That's the way you get past it.
All right. What is the most Texan thing you do?
Oh, barbecue.
Do you love
barbecue sauce on everything and like corn and since I'm the vegetarian thing, like so I'll get like an enormous baked potato, put cheese on it, put corn around it, just slather it with barbecue sauce, and it is so good.
All right. Now here's a good one, man. What is one of the proudest moments in your career?
On the business side, probably when the Mavs won a championship.
Yes. A productivity hack that you swear by?
ChatGPT, man. It's just like, it's not like I use it to get great answers, but I push it in there and it saves me all that time typing. So like business plan for this or response to that. And even though it won't get it right, it just saves me all the time of having to type it up in the first place.
Oh, that's genius, man. That's like the perfect way. I feel like that's literally the perfect way to use that and not abuse it. That's great. All right, dude, your dream dinner guest, living or historical?
Damn. Ted Turner, that was like the business dude I always looked up to. Warren Buffett.
Yeah, man.
Willie Stargell, who played baseball with the Pirates. Franco Harris, that would be like a football player from the Steelers. That'd be like it would bring out the kid in me.
Dream dinner right there, man. I was waiting. I was expecting like one answer, man. You just rattled off like 5 people. That's insane.
I know.
All right, man. Last 2 questions. We ask these questions to everyone. All right, so strap in. Here we go. If you had to delete all but 3 applications from your phone, which ones would you keep? And you have to download them, so they have to be on like the App Store.
Damn, that's a good question. Instagram, probably Skype, Instagram, and Google Analytics.
All right, man. And then, dude, last but not least, man, the show that we are on, man, it's AFK with Ninja, stands for Away From Keyboard, man. But in your own terms, define AFK, dude. What do you do when you are away from work? What do you do when you're AFK?
Just chilling, probably going to an event with my kids, right? Like my middle daughter is a rower, so going to her stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. She's really good too. And my son's got different stuff going on, or visiting my daughter who's now in college. And that's my away from keyboard, right? Just being able to spend time with them.
That's amazing, man. All right, Mark, that's everything we got. We're good to go, dude. And there you have it, folks. We've reached the end of another epic AFK with Ninja episode. If you've enjoyed the journey thus far, please consider leaving a rating, review, and hitting that follow button. We have a ton of incredible guests coming your way, and I want you to be the first to know when a new episode drops. Until next time, catch you soon.
It's